I'm joined right now in the studio by Sarah Gayton, Street Access Campaign Coordinator of the National Federation of the Blind. Thank you very much, Sarah, for joining us. And Andrew Hodgson, who's immediate past president of that National Federation as well. Welcome, Andrew, and welcome to both of you. You're here today to talk about floating bus stops, right? Now, if you don't understand what a floating bus stop is, it's something that's going on all over the country thanks to cycle lanes, right, that have been put in. And the idea is that you have a road, you then have a car there, then the next lane is a bus lane, then there's a bus stop, and then on the other side of that is usually a quite fast-moving cycle lane, sometimes a double track. And they're like death traps, these things, aren't they, Sarah?
Absolutely. You know, you've got the pavement, you've got the cycle lane and the bus stop, and people are expected to be safe to cross that cycle lane, but the cyclists don't want to stop. You know, it's the majority. It's been proven, research has been done, and it's not just bikes, Mike. You've got e-bikes, you've got e-scooters,
really
you've got
quick,
cargo bikes, hammering it down there, and the two-way cycle tracks. City of London want more. You know, people are going onto the zebra crossing and people are absolutely shooting past them. It's so dangerous.
There's a video which I think we can put up while we're talking, which is which shows very clearly people walking across what is a very obvious zebra crossing across a cycle lane, and despite the fact that in the highway code cyclists are supposed to give way to pedestrians, they don't seem to know that they have to.
Absolutely, and the research is 60% of them just don't give way, and some are absolutely speeding down there, and these are heavy bikes. You can't hear them because you've got the noise of the traffic carrying on down the road, and they're like silent, so you know, blind visually impaired people don't stand a chance.
No. Andrew, have you experienced this particular problem?
Yes, I've experienced it firsthand. I live in London, in the borough of Hammersmith and Fulham, and I regularly use a bus stop in Chiswick, which is in the adjoining borough, for shopping. It's near my local Marks and Spencer's food store, so it's very convenient for me, or was. And then in 2021 they put a bus stop bypass there, and I was warned against it by passengers, just ordinary sighted passengers who said, you know, you're going to find this very difficult, so I avoided it. But I did try it out once, because we realised that these things are death traps as far as our members are concerned, so I wanted to film on it, and I got off the bus and looked for the zebra crossing. Now, of course, what happens with these bus stops is that you, in some places, you get 2 or 3 buses in a row, and I can't tell which bus I'm on. So I turned left for the zebra crossing, but I didn't find the zebra crossing where it should have been. I found a side road, and so crossed over the side road, and therefore put myself in great danger from oncoming cyclists.
Well, that's the trouble, isn't it? I mean, I use these things as well, because I take a bus home every day. And there's one, they've done one where I live, and I see people every day, they get off because it's natural. You're getting off onto a very narrow stretch of pavement, and so your first act usually is to take a step onto then where the cyclists are, and you can see people sort of jumping back with fright because suddenly they realise somebody's coming really fast towards them.
Absolutely, I filmed that countless times, and I've also down at St Thomas's, I filmed 3 collisions last year, injuries.
Remember that.
Elephant and Castle, I filmed a little child getting run over. And all back at St Thomas's, the data's now, there was 5 collisions there, injury collisions last year, on 1 floating bus stop.
The other great danger, and I mean I bored people to death about it because it happened last September, was I had my phone stolen because I was standing on one of these things. I happened to have my phone out, couldn't see the guy coming because he came from the complete opposite side, just a U-turn around the bus stop and went off on the moped.
I filmed 6 down at St Thomas's, and you can see it, you can see him coming, but you don't know where they go, and you can't warn people, and it happens so quickly, and then people are distraught. Absolutely.
And I mean, these floating bus stops, I don't know who came up with them first, but I mean, it sounds like the sort of thing Sadiq Khan would have thought was a great idea. I mean, what chance have you got of somehow changing the system?
Well, we actually put a petition in yesterday, went to number 10, handed it in, over 290 organisations from across the sight loss sector saying this needs to halt. So we're asking Keir Starmer to put a halt on them. There's a new bus bill being debated. It started in the committee stage today, and that bill as it stands will not be safe and accessible for blind and visually impaired people. So we're hot-footing it straight over to that committee meeting, and hopefully they will put or change the clauses in there, because there is a unique chance, Mike, to actually get this new piece of legislation right, but as it stands they want to mandate floating bus stops yes, to take some out, but if you mandate them, you can kiss goodbye for safety, accessibility, and for blind people to use buses from across the country. They'll be excluded.
Right, because the other problem we're going to have, I think, later on this year, is that they've given permission for yet another electric bike company to put more electric bikes into London, and I think there's already 50,000 of them. This will raise it to about 60 or 70,000, and they're so dangerous. They go so quick. You say, I mean, I can tell you, I'll be standing at one at about 11:15 this morning, and they go past with such speed. It's frightening.
It's not only the speed of them, it's where they leave them.
Yeah.
When they're not using them, there's strewn all over the pavement.
Yeah.
They need to be locked and docked and off the pavement because on the pavement they're a great danger to vision impaired people and disabled people and older people. It's really not on.
Yeah, it is absolutely out of control.
And also, Graham, I was down at St Thomas's a couple of days ago or last week, and there was a child obviously hacked the bike. You know, they shouldn't be able to.
Oh yeah,
hack
they
them.
do that all the time.
He actually came through a pedestrian crossing, and a woman and a child was there, and he hit the child. You know, I mean, she didn't knock over. No, he just carried on. Another cyclist absolutely berated the child. But, you know, all of these incidents are happening, and I don't think people understand the fear and the stress and anxiety that then puts onto the pedestrian.
Right.
We know people, one person got his cane broke. He actually moved out of London because it stressed him out so much. And another gentleman, a deaf-blind member, he had his white cane snapped and broken by either an e-bike or an e-scooter. He's never gone out on his own again, never walked the streets independently. Right. Now stuck using taxis or, if he gets sighted assistance, to go out. People have got to understand the impact of their behaviour, and government doesn't get this. No. Sadiq Khan doesn't get it. Nobody seems to get it. The police, OK, they tried the hardest, but Mike, the other day, a big lorry shot a red light, right? He was going slow, but he shot it. The police opened his cab door, said, "Oi, you've done this," got his number, his registration, and within 2 minutes he was done. Why isn't this happening with the bikes? Why isn't the registration on those bikes? Why can't they have that same quickness, authority to absolutely prosecute and take people's...
I've been arguing this for years, probably 10 years.
Something has to give.
And some of those electric scooters now have got little registrations on them, so there's no reason why bikes couldn't.
Well, I've put one in, I've only done one. I saw one jump a red light, and I'm seeing if that is actually going to do anything, because I don't think the police actually are that hot on the rented ones, because they're rented. Yeah. It's still a trial, but they are jumping lights. 2 people are on them. Kids are still on them. Yeah. It's like the Wild West out there.
Oh, it is. And it must be dreadful for you guys. But listen, I really appreciate you coming in. We haven't got a great deal of time, I'm afraid. But if anybody wants to help out and join the petition, where can they find it?
Well, on X at NFB UK, and just find us there, or just look at NFB UK on the website. We're not brilliant on our web site, to be honest, because we're just out there campaigning all the time. Or if they get in contact with you, Mike, just pass them on. That would be the easiest way, I think. What do you think, Andrew?
Yep, that would be good.
Great to see you. Sarah Gayton, thank you very much indeed. Andrew Hodgson, former president of the National Federation of the Blind UK. Sarah, Street Access Campaign Coordinator for them as well. We've seen you many times. Keep up the good work. It's absolutely, definitely essential for so many people. If you imagine how hard it is now to navigate the streets when you can actually see what you're doing. Imagine what it's like for people who find that slightly more difficult. Absolutely extraordinary stuff. We need to change the rules on this.